Hey there guys, big news today. Halo Infinite was finally revealed at the Xbox Showcase later this morning, and I will be breaking down the entire gameplay segment for you guys today, so stay tuned. Alright guys, let's actually jump right into this here. Alright, here's the main menu. This may be for a demo they're going to release later for Xbox. Maybe they're going to keep this menu for the game or use it for maybe for the beta that has to come out later this year, because 343 did promise that they would release a beta for every new title that they release. So it's very likely that this will be the new main menu for the game. If not, it seems really weird that they would keep this in there because they were just going to show off gameplay, so why even include the menu? Unless it's going to be some permanent feature that we'll see later in the year. Also like to note, if you didn't notice, that these circular things coming out of the ground, we also saw these in the trailer back in, I think, 2019 when they first showed off the game. So that's very interesting. We'll also see these later in the gameplay demo, but we'll go over that when we get there.
Am I dead?
Just a quick note here for you guys. Halo 5 actually ended in 2558. So we'll be skipping forward 2 years at the start of this game, so that's once again very interesting. Now, after they lost, I'm guessing that means they lost control of this Halo ring, so it's been actually a very long time. It's almost been 6 whole months, so I wonder if maybe Chief's been in space that whole time, so maybe we'll see some flashbacks. I'm thinking it's been 6 whole months and then 2 whole years since Halo 5, so they're going to have to explain what happens during that time. Maybe there'll be a few missions that take us back during that time period.
Yep, this is death. No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, Chief.
If I was to guess, I'd say this sequence takes place almost right after the cutscene we saw last year at E3 with this pilot, because I'm guessing that he picked up the Master Chief. They did whatever they did in space. I think they fought some people at the end of the last trailer. And then he convinced this pilot to fly him down to the surface.
No! No! You! I can't stand this! Who you are?
Breathe.
No! You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything. Are you even listening?
I actually find this part really funny because the ship crashed and the Master Chief was completely unfazed, obviously, and this guy was completely knocked out, which kind of explains why he gets so angry in the following sequence. And I have to admit, it does seem like the Chief does not care as much about this guy's life as he does about getting down on the ring and kicking some ass.
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me. I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the Banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered. I know I saw condors over there.
Now, if you're going to play Halo Infinite, you probably need to know what happened in Halo Wars 2. Long story short, there's a new brute faction called the Banished. He mentions here that he saw condors. Condors were also in Halo Wars 2. They're like a much larger, more armored version of a Pelican. And I guess they have slip space drives. So this dude's plan is pretty much just to peace out and get the hell out of here.
I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working slip space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Oh, please. Let me see what I can find.
Cannons first. When I get back, we can look. Together.
Okay, big guy.
And now, finally, we have gameplay for Halo Infinite. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Here, the Master Chief is holding the MA-37 from Halo Reach, which is really interesting that they'd bring back an assault rifle from an older game instead of the MA-5D, which they had in Halo 5. But maybe they have both. We'll have to see when the game comes out. And then if you see that little icon right to the left, which is mapped to the right bumper. That is actually Master Chief's brand new ability, the grappling hook, which we'll see more later into the video. Here's our first look at what the grunts look like in Halo Infinite. As you can see, they look like kind of a mix between some classic, more Halo Reach, Halo 3 style grunts with the pointy orange back, and then also one that looks like it's straight out of Halo 5 with the weird, like, oval kind of gas tank on its back. Now that is a banished Phantom. It's actually really weird. I didn't expect them to bring the exact design of the Phantom into this game, because the Banished have this weird blocky kind of style, you know, where everything's kind of has a lot of edges. But I like it, and I'm glad they brought it straight over from the other game. Seems like they just brought the Warthog straight over from Halo 5, which I'm okay with, you know. I mean, I didn't hate it. Now this is very exciting. This is definitive proof that Halo Infinite will be an open world game. Now if we'll look on the bottom, you can see the button prompts, which are to set waypoint and to view missions. I'm guessing you can choose which missions you want to do, maybe in different orders. On the top, you can see the TAC map, which I'm guessing is what they're just going to call the map. Upgrades, which I wonder if you can upgrade weapons and things. I'm really interested to see what this upgrades panel will have when they actually show what is in it. And the database, I'm guessing that's just to get information on different things in the game, like vehicles and grunts and things. Maybe there'll be collectibles to pick up data pads. That seems very likely. But we'll have to wait a little while until they show a little more. Alright, here we have a mission, I'm guessing. The gun battery counts as a mission. There's a difficulty icon, which you can see is normal. The first one, I don't know actually what that first icon is with the star in it. The star icon might actually be XP, and if you're earning XP, that might be how you get upgrades, so it might be actually tied to experience. And then we've got what looks like two different types of collectibles. That one on the far right actually looks like the radio that fell over in the first Halo Infinite trailer when the Rhino walked by the tent. And then we actually have some text down there that says, "We're not leaving this island until we take out the banished AA guns. There are 3 of them. They're heavily defended. Proceed with caution." Alright, a lot just happened here, so let me break it down for you. First, I didn't mention before when we saw the rats earlier in the video, but it looks like there's going to be a lot of animals and birds in the open world, which is really interesting. We don't usually have those. We had a little bit in Halo Reach, but they were more like enemy types than just actual like passive animals. And then in this next one we have the return of the Needler. We all assumed the Needler and everything would be coming back, but it's nice to see it here, especially with all the weird weapons that they show off in this trailer. You can see a plasma pistol on the ground on that grunt right there, and then we finally get to see what the Elite looks like in-game, and it looks absolutely incredible. They brought back the classic Elite design, which everyone is going to fucking love. They actually look kind of small, so it's entirely possible we might have playable Elites in multiplayer, which is another bit of good news. And the weapon that Elite was holding is actually called the Pulse Carbine, which they actually used later in the gameplay demo, so I'll go over it then. Alright, this is the first brand new gun we really get to see in action, and it's called the VK-78 Commando. And as you can see when you're picking up guns now, you can see the type of weapon, which is a tactical rifle, kinetic, and auto. So that's pretty cool that it actually tells you what type of weapons you're picking up, especially for these brand new ones that we've never seen before. And this thing looks so meaty and awesome. It absolutely grinds these grunts up into meat, and that's absolutely amazing. And actually, as a side note here, when he drops the assault rifle, you can see what type it is. It's an MA40 AR, and the fact that it specifically says the type of AR tells me that there will almost definitely be other types of ARs in the game. And here we are, our first look at the brutes in a Halo FPS game since Halo Reach. These brutes, they look a lot like the Halo 3 brutes. They're very big, very bulky. They come down in these really cool exploding drop pods. And then we get to see, maybe, is this the return of equipment? He uses a drop shield here. He's able to shoot through it, so it is one way. It's pretty cool. The brute destroys it pretty quick. And then we actually get to see Chief use his grappling hook, which is mounted on his forearm, which we have not seen in a Halo game before, so that's a pretty cool feature. And a new grenade that might be the spike grenade. It looks a lot like it, but it doesn't seem to work in the exact same way as the Halo 3 one. But that could just be a design choice by 343. Then he picks up a new gun called the Ravager, which appears to be just like a concussion rifle. It's not all that different. It fires explosive plasma rounds, just like the concussion rifle from Halo Reach. During this elevator ride, you can kind of see most of the terrain out in the open world. And it's got this weird hexagonal kind of blank texture to it, which is actually from the Halo ring, which creates artificial ground and artificial terrain. So it's actually really cool seeing the internals of it, because you're on the part of the ring where it's pretty destroyed. This ring has been pretty screwed up by the war that's been going on here for seemingly the past 6 months. Then here we can see the Chief mantling, which is something I'm glad they brought back from Halo 5. It kind of just makes traversing the battlefield a little bit easier. Then he picks up this new gun called the Pulse Carbine, which I'm wondering if it's kind of supposed to be like the Covenant version of the battle rifle. It's kind of like a carbine, but it fires a 3-round burst. So that makes it a little more useful, maybe in multiplayer. And I don't know if you guys caught that, but this brute right here is wearing something very reminiscent of Halo 3 brutes, wearing a more blue type of armor scheme, which I wasn't expecting with the whole banished red thing going on, but it's nice to see some more familiar brute armor. Then he picks up this new banished brute weapon called the Mangler. And it seems like it's very, very similar to the Mauler from Halo 3. It doesn't look like it fires a shotgun blast, more of like a slug. I'm not exactly sure. Then after using his grappling hook to traverse up here and killing a couple grunts with the Mangler, he uses his grappling hook to grab a fusion coil and actually throw it at this shade turret. It really makes me wonder if you'll be able to grab other things in the environment. If you did that to a body, would you be able to grab the body and drag it around? It seems like there would be a lot of really funny and cool things that the community could do with this new ability. Then he picks up this new Bullpup shotgun, the Bulldog. Now, I can see a lot of people being worried that they're going to replace the old shotgun with this. Now, after the big hassle that they had in Halo 5 when they tried to change the look of the rocket launcher, I find that very unlikely. Now, there is a big lack of classic guns in this trailer, but I do think that they're just saving those for later. I mean, everyone knows what the rocket launcher looks like. With all the effort they've done to bring back a lot of the classic look and feel of the original games, I think we can rest easy that they're going to keep all the classic guns in the sandbox. But I'm very happy to have new variations on old guns. I mean, this Bullpup shotgun looks meaty and awesome, and I can't wait to destroy some Covenant with it. Now, as of right now, I don't know who this brute is. I'm guessing he's Hyperion, maybe. He was someone who was leaked to have maybe killed Locke and mounted his helmet on his shoulder. This could also be some new brute general. Maybe you're going to be fighting your way up the banished ranks up until you can finally fight Atriox, maybe at the end of the game. Maybe they'll save that for a future title or a future story DLC. We'll see what they plan on doing when they actually announce it.
A broken, scattered, hunted, defeated by me. I wish I could tell you it was difficult, but it wasn't. We are one step ahead, always. The ring is already under our control. Soon, the auditorium as well. The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We fight together to honor the will of Atriox.
Now, if you hear him there, he mentions someone called the Harbinger is working with the Banished to achieve their goals under Atriox. Now, from what he's saying, it sounds like they all do work for Atriox, and it sounds really unlikely to me that Cortana would be working with Atriox, because it seems like Cortana could stomp Atriox with the Forerunner Guardians. So it's really up in the air who this new villain is. And it's really interesting because there were blue brutes and elites earlier in the trailer, so I wonder if they're related to that, maybe?
Without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone. But here you now stand. This is my last fight. A true test of legends. Our story will outlive us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard. Die well.
Now, after that monologue, we're actually left with a lot of questions. Who is this brute? Who is the Harbinger? What happened to Cortana and the Created? Why are they not more active in the story right now? What destroyed this Halo ring? I mean, we're really thrown right into the middle of this dire situation, and we really don't know anything that's going on. So hopefully over the next few months, maybe after the book they release, there's a new Halo book coming out called Return to Reach, I believe, and maybe we'll get more context on what's going on. It's nice to finally kick off Halo Infinite's marketing cycle. I cannot wait until they release more information. I'll be breaking that down for you guys too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.